grab your fam and grab all your spooky stuff because it's time for Halloween family art making. What's up, Ringling fam? It's Kallie and happy Halloween, everyone! For today, I thought we could do a project that incorporates all the spooky decorations and items and things and costumes that you might have in your home. So we're making spooky still life, and a still life is an artwork of a group of inanimate objects. So some of them might be natural, like plants, food, rocks, seashells, things like that, and some of them might be man-made, like vases, dishes, books, anything like that. The objects that are chosen can be really important, and so can their placement. Sometimes they can be symbols for other things with bigger meanings and deeper thinking, and sometimes they're just used to practice your drawing skills from looking at something in real life and drawing it exactly how you see it. So, to sum up, a still life is an artwork that is still. As in, the objects don't move. So think about it that way. So we're gonna make our own spooky still life setup today. I'm gonna show you how to do it, and then I'm gonna give you a couple different options for how you can turn that setup into a beautiful spooky Halloween work of art. But first, let's look at some art from the Ringling collection, of course. You didn't think I forgot, did you? Like I said earlier, the objects you choose to put in your still life may have some kind of deeper meaning or may even tell something about the person who owned these objects. So let's take a look at what we see in this still life with plates. So there is a lot of food here. I see some pears maybe up here. There are some oranges down here in the corner, I think, and I actually have some oranges in my still life too, but I'm using them for a little bit different reason. There's also a lot of candied fruits and nuts and things like that on these blue and white porcelain plates. So some things like the pears are sitting very comfortably, they're sitting very evenly, and then some things like this plate and this plate over here too, they're both kind of at this weird angle. It definitely makes it more interesting to look at, but I wonder if there's a deeper story there. Speaking of a deeper story, this white cone right here is actually sugar cane. It is made of sugar. And the sugar cone and these candied fruits and other things were all things only wealthy people could afford. So this is the table of a very fancy rich person. And just at a first glance, you might not know that. You might just think, oh yeah, there's some, food on a table, I guess. But once you take a closer look, there's more than meets the eye. Next up, we have a Ringling fam favorite. A lot of people who come to the museum love this painting. It is called a still life with parrots. So we can definitely see one parrot right here, but the other parrot's kind of hidden, especially when you look at it in real life. But it's up here. There is a black parrot up here. And when you look at the objects on the table, you notice there's some things going on that happened in the last painting. So this plate is like weirdly tilted, like the other one. There's some like weird seashells on a bench here. But overall, it just kind of looks like maybe somebody was having a party and here's all the food on the table. But if you take a closer look, something's not quite right in this painting. Some of the food's already been eaten or cut into. There's like some form of citrus fruit that's been peeled. Some things look like maybe they've been knocked over, like this back here, and maybe some of this stuff that's on the bench down here. You'll also notice in the background, there's these very stormy, sinister clouds outside. It looks like we're up to no good. If you look down here at the bottom on the leg of this bench, there's actually some ants crawling up. There are some ants crawling up the bench. Like maybe this food has been left out for a long time. And now thinking of all those things and thinking of maybe there was a party before, it sure looks like somebody left this party in a hurry. Even the tablecloth is falling off the table. There must be some kind of sinister story here Pretty spooky still life, if you ask me. And now that we've taken a look at these two still life paintings, let's create our own spooky still life setup. And maybe it'll have a story like this one does. As you can see, I've got my desk here, and I think that's where I'm going to set up my still life. So let's get started. Next up, I've got a tea set that I'm going to place. For now, I might change it up later. Because remember, some of the objects can be made man-made. Oops. Now this doesn't look very spooky. So let's make it spooky. I've got this ghosty here. I'm definitely gonna place him maybe right here. He's kind of peeking out from behind. Wait. Oh my goodness. What is spookier than a ghosty coming out of a teacup? And I'll put the lid back here maybe. Yeah. Let's see. I've also got my bat friend who's been hanging out. Maybe I will drape that friend right here. Can you see him? Kind of blends in with the black. And then I've got my orange fox here. I'll place them right there for now. And the next thing I'm going to show you is pretty cool. So I didn't have any pumpkins, but I do have some oranges. So I'm going to use these oranges and draw like little jack-o'-lantern faces on them and have those be my pumpkins. So this is a great option if maybe you have little ones that it's not quite the safest thing for them to be carving pumpkins. You could also do this on those little tiny gourd pumpkins. But I'm just using an orange. Our lovely intern, Shaunan, who came up with this project, also created some different eyes and noses and mouths that you can use to get some inspiration for when you draw your pumpkin oranges. There's my little pumpkin face. So there's my other little pumpkin face. I'll put him right here for now. I've also got these little cotton balls. I thought they might look like ghosties, and I was gonna put them in the cups. But they kind of just look like marshmallows, which is cute too. Now these ghosts I'm about to make, you would usually use like a lollipop or something and some tissue, but I don't have either of those things, which is cool, because I figured out, I'm just gonna take some tin foil and put it around a straw, and then put a paper towel over it, and that will be my ghosty. So taking a look at my still life, I realized that everything's kind of even. It's all on one level. So I'm gonna use this box and cover it up with the black pillowcase. And maybe we can get some different levels of things to make it a little bit more interesting, to add some more variety. Oh, I think my still life is done. Woohoo! So now that I've got my still life completed, one thing you can do is take a picture. And that can be your still life, just a photograph, or after you take that picture, you could also sit and draw and paint what you see straight from real life. I think that would be really fun. Another way is to take that photo you took and put a grid on top. And then after you grid your photo, you grid your paper with the same amount of squares. And then you draw what's in each square, and that's a way to help you draw and make it look more realistic, so the proportions and the perspective are more correct than if you just were to draw it from looking and you don't have a lot of practice like me. well, that's all I have for you today for this spooky Halloween fam. I would love to see your still life, whether you take a picture of it or you paint it or you draw it, whatever it is, so you can send us a picture at the Family Programs Facebook page, the Ringling page, or at education@ringling.org, and let us know if you don't mind sharing it on social media, because I know the rest of our Ringling fam would love to see what you created. I hope all of my Ringling fam has a super fun and safe Halloween, so I will see you next week at the same time in the same place.